Hi everybody, I'm Linda Faulkner, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You can find me at www.crafterinspired.com. Today I'm doing the last card in the Customer Special series. This is free to customers who have become new customers in my online store this month, during the month of May. This is called the Butterfly card, and it's the fourth card in the series that belong with the Happy Birthday box. And the box will be the last video that we'll do. That'll be coming up next, so keep an eye out for that. The box holds 4 cards and 4 envelopes, perfect for a gift or even just as a place to store your birthday cards. So let's get started. This particular card starts with a 5.5 by 4 1/4 inch cardstock base. The next piece is going to be in the brand new color, Pink Flamingo, and it's going to be 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. You're going to adhere that to your card base with tape runner. And then you've got one more piece to add, and this is from the Birthday Bouquet Designer Series paper. I just couldn't bear to put magic marker writing on it. So it's 5 1/4 inches wide by 4 inches tall. And I'll give you a better look. It has these gorgeous flowers on it, and the new Pink Flamingo color matches perfectly with it. Okay, so that's going to be your card base, and when you have those adhered, it's going to look like this. Now we're ready to start our next layer. And we're going to use Pink Flamingo 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. What we're working on now is going to be this little cutout in the center underneath the butterfly. So I'm going to use my Big Shot. So let me move things out of the way so you can see what that's going to look like. On my Big Shot, we have the platform set on tab 2. On top of that, I'm putting my precision cutting base, and then I will add my paper and my die cut. This is a Pink Flamingo paper, and I'm using the second smallest in the Labels collection die to make that window in the center. So I'll set it up like that and put my cutting plate on top. Remember, you do not have to have a cutting plate on the bottom to make this work, because you have your precision base plate this time. So I will run that through, and we're just going to play like, because I've already got one done, and then you're going to end up with a piece that looks just like this. The next part is this little framelit cut out of vellum. So let me show you how I did that very quickly. 4 inches by 3 inches, and I used the second and third sizes in the Label collections. The Deco, I think it's called Deco Label collections, and this one is going to be retired, and they are selling out quickly. So if it's something you want, you need to get it before May 31st. Put your plate on top, and then we'll run this through. A little bit of snap, crackle, pop. And here's what you get. I have 1, 2 pieces I can throw away, and then here's the frame that I want. That frame is what I glued in the center, right like that. And I used a 2-way glue because it does not show up very much, something like that. So just run that across there, glue that on. And then the next thing you're ready to do is to emboss it. So let's make a few changes here and get ready for that. I need tab 1 for my embossing folder. And I'm using Decorative Dots embossing folder. It is retiring also, so that's another one. Get it quick or substitute it for something else. So I'm going to put my finished top layer in the embossing folder, I need to make a sandwich on the top and the bottom, my cutting plate, and then run it through the machine. So let's see what we get. I know you can't see all of that, but I will show you the most important parts. When I open my folder up, it's like magic, and I get that beautiful little polka dotted frame that our butterfly will fit on top of. And then the next thing I need to do while I have my embossing folder out and my Big Shot is I need to take care of my butterfly. So I'm going to go back to tab 1, put my precision base plate back on, and I'm going to use, it's called Dazzling Diamonds. It's a glitter paper. And I just took a scrap of it that's as big as my butterfly. So let me show you the butterflies. These are the die cuts. Those are still going to be in the catalog. There are 3 of them. 1, 2, and then the one I'm using is trying to fly away from me right here. So I'm going to use the middle size for my butterfly. Make sure you put your cutting edges down. 1 sandwich on top since I'm using the precision base plate. Looks like that. Let me run it through and we'll have our butterfly. And this is my die brush. When I take my butterfly out, now you're through with the Big Shot so that can get moved out of the way. When I take my butterfly out, it has all these little tiny pieces. That's why I use that precision base plate. So this brush is very hard bristles. So I'm going to just run it over my die, and you can already see it's breaking that up. It comes with a little pad that goes underneath it. And give that a really good brush. Probably didn't do enough, but that you get the idea. And when you do that, your butterfly is going to practically fall out, and all these little pieces are real easy to get rid of. So once you punch all those out, you can use a paper piercer if you need to, and I would run the brush over a little bit more. I was trying to hurry that. When you get that all done, you're going to have a gorgeous glitter butterfly that looks like this. All right, the last step before we start assembling our card is to make these 2 little tags, and we're going to be doing some embossing for that happy birthday. Do you see how that's shiny? So let me show you how to do that. I'm using the stamp set. It's called Crazy About You, and it has 2 flowers and a leaf and tons of words that make about any sentiment you would want. And I want to show you a little trick to getting words straight when you're trying to put them on a stamp. Use your cutting board or any kind of grid paper and line this up. You want the flat side. There's a side that has the word imprint, and then the other side is flat. That's going to go against the stamp. And you want the flat side up. So just lay those on a line so that you can make sure they're straight. And press your clear block on top. I think I've got them where I want them. So I'm going to just press my clear block on top. And that keeps them lined up. Little trick if you have trouble seeing straight. Okay, and then just kind of peel it off your paper. And now we're ready to stamp. I'm going to be using a Versamark ink. Looks like this. And I'm going to be using my embossing buddy. So I have 2 strips. One is the vellum. It's cut a 3 1/4 by a 1/2 inch. So that's the one I'm going to be stamping on. So I'm going to put it on that yellow. I think you'd be able to see it better. Run your embossing buddy across. That just makes sure that your ink does not stick, or your embossing powder does not stick to anything that you don't want it to. Ink up your stamp. And line it up about a 1/4 of an inch from the top and give it a good press. And you cannot see it. The Versamark is clear, but as soon as we do the next step, you'll be able to see it. I just take a paper plate. I'm going to lay it down You don't want it to dry, so you got to do it fairly quickly. And I'm going to sprinkle the silver embossing powder on top. Looks good. Shake it off. Oh, we need our Taylor Swift song, don't we? Get the extras. A little bit of blow on there, won't hurt. And now we're going to actually put some heat on it to emboss it. And since this is very narrow, I'm going to use my tweezers to hold it so I don't burn my fingers in front of you. This is called the heat gun. Looks like that. And just give it a few minutes to warm up. Excuse the noise. I'm going to let it heat up just a minute while I'm clearing my desk. Now you're going to watch the magic. I'm hoping you'll be able to see it. It's going to start turning colors once it gets hot enough. And it'll be real shiny. Ah, there it goes. Can you see that? Did you see it go all the way across there? And we're done. Embossing is fun because it looks so fancy, but it's so easy to do. I'm going to punch a hole in the top of this, about right there, small hole, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my glimmer paper. Remember, this is the 3 1/4 by 1/2 inch. Punch a hole in one end. Now the bottom end we want to make a pretty little tail to make it look like a banner. The easiest way for me to do that is I take a little snip in, maybe 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to go from each corner to the top of that snip. And you'll feel it when you get there, and it makes a perfect, well, it's not perfect, it's never perfect, but a pretty close to perfect little banner. So do that for both of those. And we're ready to put our card together. All right, last step. We're going for this look. So let's see how close we get. I have my card base. On top of that, I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. So that pops up just a little bit on top of there. I'm going to wrap it, and I do this before I did my Stampin' Dimensionals. I have some baker's twine. This one is gold and white. Use whatever color you have or you like. I'm going to leave about maybe 6 inches on the end. Wrap it once, wrap it twice, and then I'm going to tie a knot. And then I'm going to add both of my tags with the happy birthday on the top and then tie it into a bow. And I won't take time to do that while you're watching, but we can certainly lay them out so you can get the idea. There's my happy birthday. I think I'm going to put the white dazzling diamonds on the bottom and then the happy birthday on top. And then my butterfly. Oh, you're going to love this. We have a new product. And it's called adhesive strips, foam adhesive strips. And these are little tiny strips like that. Remember how we used to cut the edges off of the Stampin' Dimensionals? Now you don't have to. They come in strips. So I put a little strip there. I'm going to take the little tape off the back of that, and then that will go right here. And the only thing else I need to add is going to be 3 pearls. And when it's finished, it looks just like this. I have a couple of other ideas using the very same design. I didn't do as much of I didn't do any heat embossing, but it's still the same pattern. Here is one. It's called a graduation card, and it's got this cute little tassel. If you'll look at my YouTube channel, Linda Faulkner, it has a video on how to make the little hat with the tassel. And this tassel is made out of paper. It's a little different. So that's a great graduation card using the same technique. And then this is a birthday card. My grandson's turning 5 this year, so this will be his birthday card. Thanks so much for joining me, and thank you for being a customer. Continue to watch for more videos and monthly video specials just for customers. My name is Linda Faulkner, and my website is www.crafterinspired.com.